Just be quiet and submit. The pressure to be silent and go along to get along isn't new to Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media, nor is it new to current American political discussions. As a political tactic, it has been around for centuries. Left or right, we all are tempted by the desire to submit or urge to compel submission in others. Here on An American Missionary, we will leave the political discussions to others. Rather, today's Morning Minutes in the Bible on Throwback Thursday looks back to an examination of how deeply it is entrenched in religion, even among many of my closest brethren. Firm Foundations reprint with comments by Robert F. Turner from Plain Talk Magazine, August 1965, on Congregationalism. The following is an article by Brother Eldred M. Stevens published in Firm Foundation, August 3, 1965. Read it carefully. Think. The day of real independence and dignity of the local congregation is almost over. There has been so much material written and spoken in defense of congregational cooperation that most churches can think only in terms of cooperative work. Cooperation is not only scriptural in the handling of certain vital works that are too large for a local congregation, see notes by Robert Turner in a moment, but it has become almost necessary to any undertaking. Few congregations will venture out on their own in anything, from buying tracts to building buildings to sending out preachers. A congregation sponsored a booth at a fair. The entire cost was less than $500, not 1/4 the weekly contribution of the church. Great pains and much expense were expended to spread out the cost among some 20 or 30 churches so that there could be cooperation, and so that non-cooperating groups could be identified and criticized. Recently, a preacher called to solicit some inquiries. He revealed that a strong congregation had agreed to sponsor him if he could raise the money. The way that many wide-awake churches with strong leadership have developed great mission programs with the monies of other congregations is a bit ridiculous. It is regrettable that so many churches feed this tendency by preferring to scatter small monthly contributions to dozens of places rather than stand solidly behind anything. A local church alone cannot even have a great gospel meeting anymore. It has been told that the day of great meetings is over. However, if that church will find one or two more congregations to cooperate in a campaign to be financed by the cooperation of many churches, the picture changes. This is particularly true if arrangements are made for a brotherhood public relations firm to do the ballyhoo and handle the promotion. This author was recently shocked, to put it mildly, to learn the cost of postage and promotional commissions involved in some well-known cooperative campaigns. We are traveling rapidly toward the need for turning over some tables and driving some money changers out of the temple. The local congregation has lost its appeal to preachers. We cry about our preacher shortage. Local preaching no longer challenges. It is only for one who is too limited in talent and void of ambition to break in at the higher levels, particularly the promotion of projects that are too big for the local church. In recent years, the old-fashioned idea of Christians giving as he has been prospered on the first day of the week at his home church, with confidence in the judgment and oversight of the local eldership and the expenditure of the funds, has been junked. We have developed area-wide and brotherhood-wide directories and mailing lists so that Christians may be solicited directly to make regular gifts and pledges to other congregations and works, bypassing the local church and the oversight of the local eldership. We speak much of the scripturalness of our congregational autonomy. However, let a congregation try to exercise it and see what happens. Watch how quickly it is labeled and gets into trouble. Several congregations have revealed the pressures put on them to include at least a token contribution to various cooperative works, or else. They must do such in order that the brotherhood, actually certain powerful brotherhood planners and leaders, may know where they stand. Some who resisted the pressure suffered rather tragic consequences. When one digs beneath some surface superficiality, he wonders if the average church among us enjoys any greater independence than the average congregation within some of the denominations, which are admittedly Episcopal in government. Pressures upon and control of the local church are pressure and control whether exercised officially through some type of organizational superstructure or unofficially through various other avenues. What was it that Mr. Shakespeare said about something smelling the same, even though its name is changed? It is reported that Alexander Campbell significantly and accurately said once, "The New Testament church moved in its congregational capacity alone." In our restoration of the original pattern, we long adhere to that point of view. Who can question that we are presently allowing ambitious men to use an abuse of scriptural cooperation? See comments by Robert Turner. To lead us into another day of political control, brotherhood wide in its scope. Why can't we remember what happened in the 3rd and 4th centuries? How can we close our eyes to what happened within the ranks of our disinherited kin, the Christian church? And now Brother Turner's comments. If the local congregation is God's plan for organization, as Brother Stevens is convinced, then some believe there is vital work too big for God's plan to handle, that God's way is not complete. With this too big fallacy, and the obvious truth that preaching to the world is a vital work, Campbell and others cooperated a missionary society into existence. Scriptural cooperation, sending alms by concurrent independent action to a dependent church, does not require collective action. We do not abuse scriptural cooperation when churches operate collectively. We leave the scriptural plan for one which has no divine authority. Intercongregational collective action has no more place in scriptural organization than has piano playing in scriptural worship. Brother Stevens' courageous article is sincerely appreciated. Identity of the New Testament church is at stake. May our practice match our brave preaching. That may sound strange to you if you're not a member of a local church of Christ, but it has relevance to everyone, even those who were expecting something related to David and Goliath. But here is the connection for all of us. David was pressured to be quiet and go along with his brothers and fellow Israelites in their cowardice. As churches and church institutions grow, they will seek to silence any who ask, by what authority? It has happened multiple times here in America among the various denominations, and twice among my brethren. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on the verge of happening again. Think about that instead of who occupies government institutions. Until tomorrow, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.